Welcome to another episode of the latest with Maya. Today, I am so excited to have another conversation with John Ondrasik, also known as Five for Fighting. I first interviewed John about a year ago, and I am so honored to be interviewing you in person today. Thank you so much for joining me again.
Well, it's always a pleasure, Maya. Great to be with you.
Um, so what's your favorite part about being on tour?
There's two things. One is I just love seeing the fans singing the songs and meeting people and engaging with the fans. And every night somebody has a story, and that's just wonderful as a songwriter to do that. But I also love the camaraderie of the band and the crew. Um, it's kind of like a reunion every year. My bandmates, Pete Thorne, Randy Cook, Sean Hurley, just legendary musicians. And Pete played with me 30 years ago. Randy's been with me 15 years. So it is kind of like a boys' reunion summer camp, and so everybody's playing practical jokes, everybody's, kind of goof on each other, and just having a great time. So that camaraderie and there's something about being a bus together, rolling across the country and seeing America in a unique way that is it's hard to beat.
Love that. Yeah. Does this tour have any special meaning or significance to you?
I think every tour, every time you do it, I turned 60 this year, believe it or not. And so I think every time you do it, you're grateful and you understand that this doesn't go on forever. And I think, the nice thing about the last few years is that my kids are now kind of out of the house, and my wife can come out and meet me. My daughter can come sing songs with me. We were in Dallas yesterday. My son was there. So it's nice, back in the day, of course, my family couldn't come out with me. My kids were at school. And so we're a nice place in our life where the family can hop on the bus and join us and come to shows. So that always makes it fun. And I keep telling Pete Thorne to bring his cats because I want some cats on the bus so we can have some cuddles in the middle of the night driving across the country.
That sounds
Yeah,
nice.
that'd be fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well that's so fun. Um, do you have a favorite city or venue that you've performed at?
That's a loaded question because as soon as I say yes, then I make everyone mad that I wasn't. But Fight for Fighting kind of broke out of the Northeast actually. It's I had a tour with an artist named David Gray, and we played five cities: Philadelphia, Minneapolis, New York, Chicago, and Boston. And those tend to be our biggest markets. And Minneapolis really kind of kicked off Five for Fighting. So it's always special to play Minneapolis. It's such a great music city. But here we are sitting in Denver, which is one of my favorite cities in the world. So beautiful. So certainly, I love coming to the mountain states, the Midwest states. But yeah, I mean, when you play a place like Madison Square Garden, of course, it's surreal and it's iconic. But for me, one of my kind of favorite venues to play are some of the sports venues. I've been able to play the Daytona 500, Monday Night Football, the Kings outdoor hockey game. So as a sports fan, some of my greatest memories are playing these incredible, iconic sporting events, which I never could have imagined, that I would be doing that.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah. So if you had to pick any character in a book, movie, or TV show who is most similar to you, who would you choose and why?
Well, certainly Fonzie from Happy Days. Whoa, no. That ages me right there. I don't know. I mean, if people want to you would expect me to say Superman, but no, I certainly in my Superman song, he can't stand to fly and doesn't want to be Superman, so I can't say Superman. I don't know. Geez, maybe Dumbledore? I don't know. I always would like to be a wizard. To be a wizard, and I could make the world better by just casting spells, casting spells, casting spells. It's better, it's better. You're bad, you go away. You're good, you come here. I don't know. For me as as a huge sports fan, I always, fantasize about being, Wayne Gretzky or Lionel Messi or Michael Jordan and all the great athletes. But when you talk to those guys, they have a lot of pressure on their lives. It's not a fun life, it's a stressful life. But yeah, for me it'd probably be some, superstar athlete, Magic Johnson, that kind of thing.
Sad. Yeah. So what do you wish people better understood about you?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. I think people kind of get me because, kind of some of the things I do are a little different than other folks out in the music industry. One of the honor of my career is performing for our troops. I love our troops. Here we are with, my last out t-shirt. And I think folks understand I'm a family man. I think what's kind of interesting is my parents, my mom was a piano teacher and my dad was an astrophysicist. So I kind of had the music gene and I had the science gene. And I really kind of grew up as a nerd, a math nerd. I was a math major in college. Um, and all of that, I think is things people don't know. And also the fact that a lot of what I do is outside of music. We have a family business. We make shopping carts, believe it or not. If you shop at Costco, use our cart. And so I have this other life that's, kind of the business acumen, trying to make a payroll, innovating, having to deal with, law changes, tariffs, imports, all that stuff. So I think that experience has given me a different viewpoint than many musicians, and I think that comes out in my music because I've kind of lived that life of creating a business and the struggles and the victories and all that comes with it. But again, that's as much as my life is music.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Is there a song, either of yours or someone else's, that always brings a tear to your
Hmm.
eye?
It's funny. I just started playing on this tour, Desperado from the Eagles, and I've all Desperado, you got to come to your senses. That song. And I'd always enjoyed that song, but certain songs hit you harder when you get older, you know? And just for the heck of it, like a couple months ago, I just sat down and started playing it. And it really kind of, I don't know, resonated me about, you get to a time in your life where you're kind of thinking about, what you've done, what you could have done, what you should have done, what you could still do. And that song, for whatever reason, just kind of the melody and the sentiment made me kind of emotional and I don't know if I cried, but I cried on the inside, and I've played it a few shows, and people really, I think, enjoy it. But yeah, of course, for me, like any like um, any person, you have songs that mark the memories of your life. And my first ever breakup song, I was in fifth grade, and my girlfriend Ellie broke up with me, and I was so shattered. And the song that kind of came on the radio was Three Times a Lady. You're much too young for it, but a song called Three Times a Lady. Um, I believe with Lionel Richie or the Commodores. And so whenever I hear Three Times a Lady, my heart breaks again. It just never ends. It like hits me right here again, Three Times a Lady. So never play Three Times a Lady for me, Maya, unless you really want to see me cry.
I'll play it right after the interview. Um, so if you had a reality TV show about your life,
Yeah.
what would your theme song be?
Oh my God. Um, well, Superman, it's not easy to me. He works for pretty much everybody. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I have this song off Message for Albert. I guess if it was one of my songs, it would be this crazy song called Happy. But it's very manic and crazy. So it's like happy, crazy, and trying to get things done and just mania and chaos always going on, but you're kind of enjoying doing that. But it's, let me Madman Across the Water from Elton John would certainly fit now, considering a lot of people think I'm crazy. But I don't know. God bless America if I want to get out my patriot, my patriot flag, and certainly something I love our country and that's always on my front sleeve. So maybe God bless America, but I don't know, all of them. What would yours be?
Love that. Oh, I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of MGK recently.
Uh-huh.
So the only ones I'm thinking of are any of your songs or any of his songs.
Oh,
So
okay. Well, got a lot of choices there.
yeah. 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 So when you have a day off, what would your perfect day look like?
Well, when it's on the road, certainly it's sleeping late, and typically we'll work out, go for a run or a swim, or, we don't get a lot of time to work out. And if I'm in town where there's a sport event going on, whether it's a baseball game or a hockey game or a basketball game, we try to kind of take in, a sporting event. But for us on the road, a lot of days are like recovery days, basically just because, the performing is not the hard part. It's the travel and being on the bus and bouncing on the bus for 10 hours and not really sleeping. And then all the stuff that goes around with promoting your shows and a lot of that. So a lot of these are recovery days, and we always have a very nice dinner. And I tend to hunt out, one of my favorite restaurants in every town. The last three gigs, we were in Kansas City, Oklahoma City, and Texas. So of course I had barbecue every day. So I'm done with barbecue for this tour. But I, went to Arthur Bryant's in Kansas City, went to Terry Black's in Texas. So a lot of our off days revolve around food, both for the string quartet and the rock band. Yeah, yeah.
Love that. That sounds like a great day.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Um, so what is your favorite movie soundtrack?
Oh, wow. One of the more recent soundtracks I think is amazing is the Dune soundtrack, the soundtrack from Dune. It's just, it really it really serves the movie, which I think is important. But also, if you listen to it on its own, it's so interesting, incredible sounds, kind of old synths, very bold, very different than your typical soundtrack. So, right now, I would say, if you haven't checked out the Dune soundtrack, that's a really cool one to listen to. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up
yeah,
because I haven't heard it. So,
yeah.
yeah. Um, so if you had the opportunity to put a message on a billboard for everyone to see, what would it be?
Right now would be free the hostages. It would be simply that. I've been working with many hostage families since October 7th. I've been to Israel, performed at Hostage Square. We did a new version of Superman for one of the hostage families. Alon Noel, his mother, reached out to me. So we did a new version for Superman to kind of try to keep the spotlight on the hostages and their plight. And as we sit here, we have hope, of course, we have hope. So for me right now, I think, bringing home the hostages would, first of all, it's, I can't imagine being a parent of one of the hostages. It's the right thing to do, but also would lead to a lot of other good things. So right now, my message is to, free the hostages and let them see their loved ones and let's put an end to this nightmare.
Definitely. We need those billboards everywhere.
Yeah, we do.
So.
There are a few. There are a few out there. A couple people are doing it. There are a few, but we certainly need that side of this culture war that's been, I think, lost in a lot of craziness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Um, so what subject could you give a TED Talk on, even though you are totally unqualified on that subject?
Ballroom dancing. Because I know nothing about it. I'd be terrible at it, and it would be hilarious.
Yeah, I want to see that.
No, you don't.
Yeah. What is a superpower that you would not want to have?
Oh my goodness. I would not want to read people's minds.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to know what they're thinking. I don't want to know what I'm thinking half the time. So yeah, I don't want to read your mind. Yeah, thank goodness. Keep it to yourself. We don't want to know.
Yeah. Yeah. There are very few powers I think I'd actually want to have.
What would you want to have?
I the only one that I would actually want is there's one of my favorite shows is The Flash, and there's
Oh yeah.
the character Frost in the
Oh,
later seasons. I want her powers because they're cold powers, and
yeah.
so I don't like the heat. So whenever it's hot out, I want to just make it snow and a little
Oh.
cold. So
Can you come to California on Christmas? Because we never have like the white Christmas. That would be amazing. That's the best answer I've ever heard about superpowers. Yeah. And she's kind of a bad
yeah,
guy.
well, she was bad, and then she became
Oh, she's good now?
yes,
Oh,
she
good.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we all got a little bad and a little good in us.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, what's a superpower that you would want to have?
Um, I think I always kind of, if I was invisible, I could go around the world and catch all the bad guys. So yeah, maybe invisibility. But you know what? The superpower I'd like probably more than anything is ability, and my son has this, and my wife has this. It's the ability to basically click something in your head in 5 minutes, go to sleep. Yeah, I am not. My daughter is an insomniac. I'm insomniac. So if I could have one superpower, and it is a superpower, is ability to sleep anytime, anywhere. So
Yeah.
that's the superpower I want. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so is there a show or a movie that you find yourself quoting all the time?
Oh man. Well, my band is all, they're all quoting Happy Gilmore because of Happy Gilmore too. So all those quotes are coming back. Um, Fast Times from Ridgemont High. Okay, again, you're way too young. But all right, Hamilton, it's like for me, I'm old. So we go back to Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and we're still quoting that movie because it was so iconic for us. And of course, The Godfather. Who doesn't, The Godfather? Yeah. Mm.
That.
Yeah. Mm.
Um, so if you had a warning label, what would yours say?
It would say, warning, he may say something that makes you very uncomfortable. But that's called rock and roll.
I love that one. I think my mom might need that one.
We're partners in crime, Mom. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I saw her laughing as soon as you said that. I was like, well, that is her too. So
My wife has that same, yeah, she has no problem with that too. Yeah, yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Um, well, that was my final question for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me again. I always love talking with you, so thank you.
Well, I love talking with you. You ask wonderful questions. You really do. Yeah, I do a lot of interviews and you're right in the top tier. So keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That means so much to me. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. I hope you
So
enjoy the show tonight.
thank you. Yeah. And that's a wrap on today's edition of The Latest with Maya.